This is 17 News with continuing coronavirus coverage.
Well, breaking news this afternoon, two Kern County residents test positive for COVID-19. According to Kern County Public Health, they were notified at midnight about the two separate Kern County residents. Public Health says they are at home.
We are currently investigating these two cases to determine if there were, what their potential exposure sources were, and if they themselves have exposed any household or close contacts.
Public Health reminds Kern County of the importance of basic hygiene, like washing your hands for 30 seconds, coughing or sneezing in your elbow, and staying home if you are ill. Testing for COVID-19 continues at hospitals and urgent care centers in Bakersfield today. Public Health says they've done 271 tests so far. Besides the 3 confirmed cases, 76 tests have come back negative. That means we're waiting on results for 192. Public Health says there's no shortage in testing or availability of tests. Now in California, there are 598 confirmed cases and 13 deaths. Well, an update on the coronavirus this afternoon. Chinese health officials reported 0 new cases in the country for the first time since the outbreak started. Around the world, millions are under lockdown. The global number of cases this afternoon sits at more than 218,000. This morning, Fiji reported its first case. This is bad news for the remote Pacific Island region that is fairly dependent on aid. Meanwhile, in Europe, Italy remains at the center of the largest outbreak. The death toll in that country is rapidly approaching that of China. Well, here in the United States, officials prepare for an 18-month-long pandemic. Most of the people that have died from the coronavirus in the United States are over the age of 65. Well, this afternoon, there are over 10,000 cases in the United States and 150 people have died. Well, around 7 million people in the Bay Area are under mandatory shelter in place. Well, to our south, yesterday, officials in Orange County decided to implement a lockdown, and the city of Fresno has also put residents on a shelter-in-place order. Now let's take a look outside. Let's send things over to Kevin Schredt. Kevin?
Good afternoon, Nicole. Good afternoon, everyone. Yes, I am still at home doing what I can to stay isolated as much as possible. We've got some cloud cover out there. If you remember this morning, we talked about the clouds were going to roll in. We could see a chance of a shower. And as we take a look at the satellite and radar right now, some pockets of showers trying to make their way into the west between Lost Hills and Buttonwillow at this time. So we will be watching for that today. 54 degrees in Bakersfield. We have a northwest wind at 7 miles per hour right now. And as we take a look at the hour-by-hour forecast, we'll be right near 60 this afternoon, and then by midnight into the lower 50s. For Tehachapi, currently 41 degrees. We have a west-northwest wind at 10. And as we take a look at the day here, we are expected to only reach the 40s and then slipping back into the 30s for tonight. We do have more rain on the way, but when will it get here? I got the very latest on your forecast. That's coming up in just a few minutes. Back over to you, Nicole.
Thank you, Kevin, for that. Before we touch on any further coronavirus news, we come to you with breaking news this afternoon. A man accused of killing an 8-year-old girl in Central Bakersfield has been arrested in Inglewood. Clint Mason was arrested this morning at a Motel 6 on suspicion of murder in the child's death. He was transported back to Kern County. Mason is the boyfriend of the victim's mother, according to a family member. Well, this is still an ongoing investigation, and anyone with any information is asked to contact BPD. Well, on Wednesday, school districts around Kern County closed their doors to slow down the spread of the coronavirus. These schools made the indefinite transition to online education, leaving thousands of local families with little time to adjust to this massive change in their children's lives. 17's Taylor Schaub caught up with the Venezuelans who are trying to make the best of these tough times.
2 days ago, 15-year-old Isabel Valenzuela was taking class at Golden Valley High School. Now she's home, where she'll stay doing her schoolwork online for the foreseeable future.
I actually started last night, and I'm just trying to get ahead.
Valenzuela is one of 190,000 children in Kern County facing this new reality. Online classes with little to no social interaction in an effort to curb the spread of the coronavirus.
I wasn't excited just because I like to have the social interaction along with learning.
Her mom, Carrie, who also cares for 2 young daughters, believes the best way to handle this homeschooling is keeping Isabel on a set schedule.
One of her teachers actually made a schedule for them, so he plotted out how much to do one day. Her teachers gave her some packets to bring home.
A practice that one day in, Isabel says she's already focused on maintaining.
My goal is to just wake up at my regular time, do school just like my regular time.
Even planning time to connect with people outside the house.
So making sure to text or FaceTime my friends.
Are you at your mom's all week?
Because as Isabel points out, well, you can learn online.
Yeah. My only concern would be the social interaction thing. I think school-wise we'll do fine homeschooling, but a lot of kids tend to feed off of the social interaction.
Well, another day, another list of places across Kern County that are closed for coronavirus concerns. Just announced the Minter Field Air Museum will be closed until Kern County Public Health gives them the okay to reopen. Buck Owens Crystal Palace has been shut down indefinitely. John's Incredible Pizza is closed until late March. Guthrie's Alley Cat is closed for the next 2 weeks. La Costa Maricosa is temporarily closing its Ice House location, and both Golden West Casino and Eagle Mountain Casino are closed. Well, Bakersfield College will not have its May commencement ceremony at Memorial Stadium this spring due to the coronavirus outbreak. Instead, the college is looking into doing a virtual commencement that people can participate in online. A BC spokesperson says the college is still looking into whether or not this is even feasible. Cal State Bakersfield announced earlier this week that it is postponing its graduation events. A makeup date has not yet been set. And Taft College works to move its classes online. It's one of the last schools in the area to limit campus activity because of COVID-19. They say they will have remaining classes online by this Wednesday. College officials say student services will also be available online. They say students should stay in close communication with faculty as the situation unfolds. The college is planning on reopening April 13th, the Monday after their spring break. Well, taking a look around the nation today, President Trump held another news conference to discuss what is being done in the fight against the coronavirus. Trump says the fight is a medical war as we need to rise above it.
You bottom line people, when can Americans expect their lives to go back to normal? Will that not happen until there's a vaccine?
I hope very soon. We'll see. This is uncharted territory, as you know. We think we have ideas. It doesn't help to say what the ideas are. I would hope very soon. We've pulled together as a nation. People are, for the most part, doing what they're supposed to be doing. The social distancing is very interesting. A whole new term that's become it's become somewhat of a hot term, but people are listening and they're really doing a great job. This country is an amazing country. I think you're up to 141 different countries right now, so it's very uncharted territory. It could have been stopped. Could have been stopped pretty easily if we had known, if everybody had known about it a number of months before people started reading about it.
You said you didn't.
Excuse me. Before we started reading about it, it could have been stopped in its tracks. Unfortunately, they didn't decide to make it public, but the whole world is suffering because of it.
President Trump also says the virus caught everyone off guard, and if only it could have been caught sooner, we'd be in a different place. He goes on to mention how great the economy was doing just a couple weeks ago. Well, with the second phase of economic relief to help people suffering during the coronavirus crisis done, Congress and White House now begin planning a third phase, and it could surpass $1 trillion of spending. Meanwhile, the global pandemic has hit Congress with the first 2 members reporting positive tests. NBC's Chris Pallone is in New York with more.
Today, the global pandemic has hit the Capitol. Florida Representative Mario Diaz-Balart and Utah Representative Ben McAdams both recovering this morning after testing positive for coronavirus. The news rocketed across the Hill as the Senate passed a second phase of economic relief.
The ayes are 90, the nays are 8. The bill is passed.
President Trump signed the bill, which provides some workers with paid sick leave and other free coronavirus testing. Now negotiations intensify on a massive stimulus bill. The White House wants money to prop up industries like the airlines and to send taxpayers checks, spending money to juice the economy in April and May.
We're looking at timing that would be different, splitting the time, splitting the payments.
Democrats and Republicans staking their ground on what the stimulus should contain.
I'm not looking to send people a government check. I'm looking to keep their paychecks coming.
Focus on the people who need help the most, the workers, the families.
As coronavirus tests increase, so too are the number of victims. Some health experts are painting a bleak timeline, saying the virus might not truly subside until a vaccine is released.
It is going to be at least 15 to 18 months, and we're going to have to decide how we're going to live during that time, not just die from this virus.
Amidst the uncertainty on Wall Street, the stock market has erased nearly all the gains made since President Trump took office.
Well, the Washington State soccer field will house tents to treat coronavirus patients. Yesterday's Kern County announced a soccer field in Shoreline will serve as a temporary field hospital. Workers are already setting up tents and other infrastructure for the transformation. Patients will include people exposed to at risk of exposure or becoming ill from COVID-19. Officials hope the move will help stop the spread of the disease. The county says it needs 3,000 more medical beds to fight the virus. They say this site alone will provide up to 200 beds. Well, speculation surrounding the negative effects of ibuprofen on COVID-19 symptoms, but health organizations are not seeing a clear correlation. Also, stress is on the rise as COVID-19 spreads worldwide. What can you do to decompress? Your 17th Health Watch is right after the break. Welcome back. Well, in your 17th Health Watch, there is currently no scientific evidence that taking ibuprofen could make coronavirus symptoms worse. There was a lot of concern after the French Minister of Health tweeted to avoid anti-inflammatory like ibuprofen because they might worsen an infection. But the World Health Organization has told NBC News it's gathering evidence, but after a rapid review of their literature is not aware of published clinical or population-based data on this topic. Well, if you are concerned, experts say you can take something like Tylenol. It works just as well as ibuprofen in controlling a fever, one of the main symptoms of the virus. Well, this is a stressful time for many as the number of coronavirus and deaths continue to increase across the nation. However, there are things you can do to help with that anxiety, so don't make the panic larger than the pandemic. Sarah Dolph has the story.
Across the country, an outbreak of anxiety.
The whole world, I feel like it's like shutting down right now.
It's like a nightmare that doesn't end.
COVID-19 threatening to take a toll not just on physical health.
I worry about the people in my life.
But mental health as well.
It is an anxiety-provoking time.
Dr. Neha Vias says it's normal to feel anxious or worried right now, but keeping it from overtaking our lives is key.
Know if you're in a highly anxious state and take measures to calm yourself down. Practice self-meditation, reflection, and do the things that you can do to calm yourself down first and foremost.
While some of the traditional ways we seek comfort are on hold, like hugging or religious services, we can seek other outlets like getting outside if permitted, calling or FaceTiming a loved one, and sticking to a normal routine and diet, especially if you have children.
If they're used to waking up at a certain time, try to keep that going. And first listen before you answer their questions, because they may not need all the information you have. They may just need someone to listen to them.
Look for warning signs like trouble sleeping and eating, or sleeping and eating too much, sinking into depression, or obsessing over thoughts that something bad is going to happen. Indications it's time to seek help, either in person or via telemedicine services.
I firmly believe that with the help of each other, we'll be able to get through this.
Finding a lifeline in a time of uncertainty. Sarah Dolph, NBC News.
Experts from Baylor College of Medicine say distancing yourself from the constant news coverage could also help with the anxiety. Well, let's take another look outside with Kevin. Kevin, how are things looking out there?
Well, we've got some clouds out there and even a few isolated little showers. As we take a look at Arvin, you can see mostly cloudy skies there. They're currently at 56 degrees, so a mild start to the afternoon. And as we take a look at some other areas here, like Wasco, partly cloudy a few minutes ago. Now the clouds have moved in. We're mostly cloudy, 49 degrees. And then we've got mostly cloudy skies out of Golden Hills, and currently they're in the mid-40s. As we take a look at Bakersfield, 54 degrees, a northwest wind at 7 miles per hour. And our almanac so far today, the high 54. Overnight, we're at 46. And our record on this date, can you believe it? 90. And that was set back in 1928. 7:08 will be our sunset for tonight. And again, valley temperatures in the 50s. And then for the mountains, 30s and 40s. 41 in Tehachapi with 48. Currently out of Lake Isabella, mid-50s for Ridgecrest. You can see here on the satellite radar, a few pockets of showers, as I mentioned this morning, would be pushing on in. Some areas may see nothing. Other areas may see a few showers and maybe even an isolated thunderstorm. So we'll have to watch for that. Here's a look at the regional view. Once this system pushes southeast today, tomorrow, and also into Saturday, we should be looking at more sunshine before the next system arrives on Sunday. Now, temperatures today, 50s and 60s up and down the state. And as we take a look at the Pacific view, you can see a couple of systems developing north of us, and those are the rainmakers for Sunday through Wednesday. We get a secondary system coming in Sunday, Monday, and then Tuesday, you can see a system behind that, and that rolls on in, and that is through Thursday night. So it looks like the showers may hang around. Now today, again, we have a chance of showers in there. If we see anything in the mountains, we could see some snow showers, snow levels hovering right around 4,500 feet. And then the rainmaker Sunday through Wednesday into Thursday, we could pick up between 1/4 and 1/2 inch of rain. So we'll be monitoring that carefully. Today, though, we'll call for mostly cloudy skies. As I mentioned, a chance of a shower, 50s and 60s for your highs. And then for the mountains in the Kern River Valley, mostly cloudy, a west wind right around 5 to 10, 45 in Frazier Park, 44 in Tehachapi today, and lower 50s out of the Kern River Valley. For the desert, mostly cloudy, a slight chance of a shower here, and 53 in Mojave. Here's your extended forecast, and we're looking at 70 on Saturday, Sunday 73. I don't expect the rain on Sunday to arrive until probably late, and then you can see it lingers through Wednesday, possibly into Thursday. And then as we take a look at the mountain forecast, mostly sunny Friday and Saturday. You're also going to be warming up by the weekend, back near 60 Sunday, and then the chance of rain. That next system, next week, looks like snow levels will be a little bit higher. And then for the Kern River Valley, you can see tomorrow and Saturday, mostly sunny, and back in the mid-60s by Sunday. So a little bit of a warm-up and a chance of rain back in the forecast as we head into the end of the weekend. Nicole, hope you have a great afternoon. We'll send it back to you.
Thank you for that, Kevin. Well, industries across the nation are exploring the option of new products on their assembly lines. Now, one car company is looking at the option of producing medical products. That story when we return.
KGET Business Watch is brought to you by Grapevine MSP Technology Services, the Valley's leading IT service provider.
Well, back now in your 17 Business Watch checking stocks, the Dow, the NASDAQ, and the S&P 500 are all up today. Meantime, oil prices, West Texas Intermediate is at $25.41 a barrel, and Midway Sunset Oil is at $18.53 a barrel. And two of the country's best-known mortgage lenders want to help their borrowers financially impacted by the coronavirus pandemic. Freddie Mac and Fannie Mae are detailing how they will help borrowers. Fannie Mae said it will suspend foreclosure sales and evictions for 60 days. Homeowners are eligible for a forbearance plan to reduce or suspend their mortgage payments for up to 12 months. Freddie Mac has a similar plan. Both also will waive late fees according to their statements. Also, Ford and General Motors explore whether they can use shuttered auto factories to help make medical supplies. The automakers announced yesterday they would close their factories through March 30th. GM CEO Mary Barra said in a statement the company is studying how it can potentially support production of medical equipment like ventilators. GM would not change out equipment, but use extra space in some factories to make the ventilators. President Trump has signed the Defense Production Act to ramp up production of medical supplies to fill the shortage. And a choir can't meet in person to practice, so they did the next best thing. How chat services are helping them continue to connect. We'll be right back. Welcome back. Well, the coronavirus outbreak shut down the Chino Valley School District's Choral Festival, but it couldn't stop the music. Some enterprising students at Chino Hills High turned to YouTube to deliver an amazing a cappella performance, which went viral. Their social media version of Somewhere Over the Rainbow may be bringing them more attention than if they had actually been able to compete. These Chino Hill Chamber signers are happy to see that their YouTube video is spreading hope and cheer during this difficult time. The superintendent of Chino Valley Unified School District was forced to close 35 schools there on Monday. The system in San Bernardino County, California will stay closed at least until Friday, April 3rd.
This is 17 News with continuing coronavirus coverage.